sometimes they want to get your attention. So they just like send you messages every day or like email you over and over again, but it's like not of value. Do you remember? I think you guys were at that event I did where a friend of mine who was mentored by Sam Zell for like 25 years gave a talk on like how to build relationships with like very high value people. And this whole talk was just like these people all day long, somebody wants something from them. In Sam's case, they want to be a partner. They want money. They want, to sell them a company. And it's just like all day, gimme, gimme, gimme. And so his whole point was just like, I essentially just sourced deals for Sam that I thought were valuable. I did a bunch of research for free. And then I presented him what I thought were the best ones. One of the first ones I presented him, he wound up doing and making a bunch of money on. It's like, oh, this guy's good. I should probably keep him around. And then immediately after, he got a bunch of emails from people that were in the audience who were like, hey, I'd love to like pick your brain. It's like, no, did you not just hear what he said in the talk? That's not very helpful. I've been inherently resistant. I am not an author. Big publishing houses email me all the time about writing a book. People telling me I should write a book. Eric, I've talked about this over and over again. It's like, I cannot be the bottleneck for any kind of book because like I'm only going to podcasts. There's nothing else. I'm never going to sit down and be like, hey, I'm going to take a few weeks or a few months or a few hours a week out of podcasting so I could write a book. So there's this guy, and I can't pronounce his name, but I think there's like a big lesson here. Yeah. I called him Wouter, I think, in front of everybody in the audience. And I saw like he was sending me a bunch of messages and stuff. He did something that's like really, really smart because he wanted to launch a podcast, right? And most podcasters, as you know, it's like most people take it like they're very like casual how they approach it. But definitely, like, there's very few podcasters that actually have like a world-class like work ethic. And I saw a couple things. I was actually talking to John and Jordy about this, the TPBN guys, because they are working their asses off.
Wait, so this is the same guy who flew to Victoria and interviewed Andrew Wilkinson?
I kept seeing him in my mentions. And then I saw other people that I know, like Andrew, who's a friend, and Eric Glyman, the founder of Ramp, who's a friend. But this is one thing that me and John and Jory talk about all the time. It's just like, I think one of their differentiating aspects is like they actually working really hard at what they're doing. They're taking it excessively serious, right? So I sent them, I was like, hey, I don't know this guy. I don't know if his podcast is good, but like mad respect for how much effort he's putting into it. So I saw this tweet from Andrew Wilkinson. It's like, this guy from the Netherlands emailed me asking if I'd come on his podcast. I didn't want to, so I used my usual line. I only do it in person in Victoria. Welp, the son of a bitch called my bluff, flew 12 hours mic in hand. Well played, Wouter. It turned out great. And then I saw a tweet from my friend Eric Glyman, CEO and co-founder of Ramp. He's like, to prep, he's like, give Wouter, he has a shot to build like a really good interview podcast on modern company builders. To prep, he wrote a 40-page book on Ramp and flew 3,000 miles to film. And then me and Patrick were doing this live talk at Ramp's headquarters in New York. And I see another tweet from Wouter. He's like, I set out to create the Founders Podcast book, but I failed. I spent 27 days listening to over 380 episodes. I spent $5,000 in design fees and over 450 just in ink costs. The result, a book with 366 daily quotes. He gave it to me when I met him, actually. I think there's only 2 in the world. Lessons and maxims.
There it is.
From history's greatest founders.
I hadn't even put together that this was the same guy who was working these 9 angles, but this is so interesting because he's doing everything in a quality way. But you keep talking.
If he had just been sending me a bunch of DMs like, I like your podcast and I'd like to meet, I'm launching a podcast, like they're just gonna go nowhere. Well, but what the effort is universally, it doesn't matter if you're growing a garden like our mutual friend Kevin, or you're building a giant company, or you're doing a podcast. It's like effort is universally appreciated. And so what happened is that after the event, we spent time with him. Like me and Patrick gave him, to the degree that he needs our advice on like certain areas of podcasting that there seems to be open space in, because hey, interviewing fucking entrepreneurs seems to be well taken care of. I introduced him to both, me, Eric, and Kareem, the 2 founders of Ramp, to talk to him. So it's like, just from doing this, and he also flew from the Netherlands to New York to be there and everything else. It's like, what I was talking to him, I was like, listen, man, if you want to do the Founders book, right? I'm really good friends with Eric Jorgensen. This isn't the Founders book. Like, that's not what we have in mind. It's really cool. It's interesting. But what I'm interested in doing, because it changed my life, is like the Almanac of Naval, that version of Founders. And so I go, here's the deal I'll make you, right? I will give you this opportunity. If you do the research and you work your ass off on this, we will then go to Eric, who's a good friend. He will publish it. He'll smooth out the writing. I will promote it, and then you can keep all the fucking money. I don't need to make money off of a book. If I want something that's interesting that I can refer to, that I'd be proud of other people to read, and then since you're a young kid, like this might jumpstart you.